This is the worst I've seen, and I would say potholes are not common in Arizona. It's not something that we expect on the roads.
Yesterday, I introduced you to a Prescott Valley man, one of the handful of drivers who reached out to me saying poor road conditions caused hundreds of dollars in damage, yet the state denying their claims to pay them back. He even had video evidence of the moment of impact with a string of potholes on the I-17 near Sunset Point, but the state said they were not responsible. I wanted to see what it would take to get a claim actually approved, so I sat down with an Arizona attorney in this all-new Operation Safe Roads report. It was midnight in March on the I-17 near Sunset Point when a blown tire made for an expensive trip for William Skaggs.
And the total repair was about $1,350.
William sending me the denied claim from the state, who eventually said there were signs up in the area warning them of the rough road conditions, so drivers were entering at their own risk.
Basically, the person that's denying the claim is a person that works for the state. And obviously, it's in their best interest to deny the claim.
It was a story I've heard from a handful of other drivers who say the state would not pay up for the potholes.
I would say the default on most all of these claims, whether it be a road condition, whether it be other things, is to deny them.
I sat down with Kevin Garrison in Peoria, who is an attorney for the Garrison law firm. He says the first thing to do is file a notice of claim, which William did. Now, this is important. It has to be done within 180 days.
You have to describe what it was that they did that was negligent or wrong. You have to describe what your injuries are, what your damage is, and you have to put what's called a sum certain in there. So you have to say, I'll settle my claim for $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever it is.
Garrison stresses drivers need to be meticulous with the details and have as much evidence as possible.
There's all sorts of other things, though, that you can do to try to bolster that. You could try to get maintenance records of that area, so a freedom of information request to the state or the city or the county. Google Earth, Google Maps, try to see if you could get a picture from a time before.
Garrison says drivers have to prove that the state was negligent. Now, if a pothole hasn't previously been reported, the state can claim it's a road hazard and they aren't liable. And like in Williams' case, the state claims there were signs up warning drivers of the bad conditions. You have risk management, ADOA, as the one who are making decisions on whether or not to approve or deny a claim when it is in their best interest to deny it. How is there justice in that?
All I can really tell you is based upon my experience, but I don't think my experience is much different from many, many, many lawyers I know. It seems to me, and my experience has been universally, these claims are generally denied.
So what if your claim is denied? What's next? Garrison says you can file a lawsuit. Of course, you have to decide whether or not it is worth it for you to go this route.
Most of the lawyers that do what I do, we charge on what's called a contingency fee. So what that means is there's no money out of pocket to you to hire somebody like myself to look into it and to pursue it.
Garrison says without question, the state does have an obligation to maintain the roads, and potholes do not just appear out of nowhere. So many people may have a case, even if that first claim was denied.
You guys are doing a good job of news stories, and the newspaper is too. This is not a surprise that we have this crazy, crazy wet weather, record rainfalls, record snowfalls, and now all of a sudden potholes develop. So I think all of those things go towards, yes, this isn't something that just spontaneously happened. You should be aware of it.
I asked the Arizona Department of Administration for an on-camera interview. They did decline. The state did tell me, though, they have paid about $20,000 to drivers in close to 30 settlements. That includes I-40, the I-17, the SR-260, and more. But keep in mind, of the nearly 800 claims filed, only 27 were settled. More than 360 have been denied, with nearly 360 more still under review. So we'll stay on top of this.